not pissing about. We actually have some genuine important stuff to share with you this evening. You know that we wouldn't do this to you unless it was actually something important. So we are going to be sharing some really important stuff with you. So make sure you're sharing, make sure you're tapping the lives. Let's get some people in here so they hear the news.
Good news, everyone.
Yes.
You're on the edge. I'm on the edge of glory.
Tell us. Look, guys, come on. You know, it takes a lot of effort to put this sort of stuff together. So if we're going to tell you...
Thank you, everyone.
Put your little bit of work in and get some more people in here. Get Pockerz, grow his channel, and we promise you that you're not going to be disappointed what we're talking about this evening.
Hi, Michelle. I'm great. How are you? Hi, Sham. Thank you, Annabelle.
Made her bed, so lie in it. That's your clue, Rainbow. The clue is that someone's made their bed, so they're going to have to lie in it. That's the clue. So get tapping. We need to get 30k. We need to keep sharing out the live, please, guys. We have some really, really important
tappy. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Remember, if you're not already following me or John, please drop us a follow. Because, you know, I need them more than John does, but John also needs them more than I do. It's a whole thing.
We're not even asking for gifts. We're not even asking for gifts to share. But if you want to gift us, you can.
Of course. Thank you, Jenny.
This is such an important topic we'll be talking about this evening that me and Pockerz have been rehearsing how we're going to announce it. Okay?
And I'm sure I'm going to fuck it up either way.
He is going to screw it up.
The pressure. I've even written it down, for fuck's sake.
Yes. Yeah.
That is what I've had to do. Here we go. Bit of Xanadu.
Yeah, relevant. You went live early just to sleep, just to be here. Oh, just to be here. Oh, you did you? Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
You were.
Nadu. Hi, Trixie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Himalayas. Open your eyes and see.
Also, you guys are never gonna have guessed what it was anyway. You honestly, this was completely out of the blue today.
Like, it was.
Yeah, me and Pockerz were just sat there, you know, doing our normal stuff during the day. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we get a load of important information being shared with us.
Thank you, Danny.
Hello, Live Clips. Hello.
Thank you, Poochie, for the follow.
Come on, guys, keep sharing. Please.
Thank you, Liz. You're gorgeous.
Yes, tap the screen. You have not missed the big news. No, you have not missed the news.
Thank you, Mummy of Two Babbies. Thank you, everyone, for your heart meets as well. Thank you so much. Remember, share the live, repost the live, tap the screen, keep them clean and keen, live the dream.
And remember, this is going to be explosive.
This is gonna be madness.
Get your Pringles. Get your Pepsi Max.
Get your cheeseburger toasties.
I bet she regrets ever doing that because we use it every time.
Oh, yeah. Listen, John, if we live life with regrets, then, you know, it's a terrible life to live. So that's on her, not me.
Yes, all of the information that we share tonight is fact checked. Okay, we will not go as far as to actually say too much on it because we don't want to go further than what we know. It's really, really important that we don't go further than that. I'm more than happy to then speculate with everyone on what it could be.
So, I mean, I think me and John kind of agreed that we'll put it out there, give it 2 cents, speculate on this and that, you know, maybe open the boxes to some people. And then we do actually have some clips not related to this specifically. This is the breaking news, as you see up there. And then we've just got some clips from Luna in the last 2 or 3 days. So
I'm being text different messages from people saying things like, "Are you going to say that this is alleged what we're talking about tonight?" I would like to clarify that everything is always alleged, but the information that we share initially is factual information.
Yeah,
it is factual information.
Facts.
So the first few sentences that come out of mine and Pocker's mouth this evening, when we give you the news, is facts.
100. And then after that, and after that, you know, that'll be it.
Yeah. After that, it's going to be speculation because we don't know. We don't know.
There's only so much you could know, to be honest with you, without. Yeah.
But I think we'll be honest, and we'll make it clear what is fact and what isn't when we're talking about it.
Oh yeah.
John, I spoke to you earlier, and not even Dan. I didn't even know when I was speaking to you earlier, and plus. We didn't want to. We have not announced it to anyone yet. So,
the most of who you are.
Is it something really
Father serious? To son.
You're going to find out, Crisco.
Everybody, Annette, the best a man can get. Yes.
Have you got that clip?
No. I'm playing the actual song.
Oh, okay.
Just you.
Did you see that guy was in a box with her?
Yeah, VJ. VJ. Yeah. I've actually got that clip thanks to Spooner.
Perfect.
Everybody,
got the clip.
You're the champion, Annette. The best a man can get. Yes. Oh.
All right. Well, we're almost at 50k likes.
Like, legitimately, Dan, if you say that again, I will block you.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've been forewarned, basically. Thank you, Sally, for the follow.
You will be kicked off the cruise.
Yeah, I know people.
I think we should probably share the news. What do you think?
Pitter mute.
Yes, yeah. No, we probably should.
Hold on. Before we do, can you all, if you want to hear the news, guys,
thank you.
Can you type yes in the chat just so we know you're all here?
Oh, I've never done that before. Thank you, everyone, for your heart me's. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my Jesus, fuck! Holy Moses! I've never seen the word yes so many times. Jesus!
Yeah, it's quite rare that any woman has said yes to you.
Shut the. This isn't about me. Breaking news: Pocker's love life non-existent. I mean, it's not really breaking news; it's just general common knowledge.
Oh God,
Jesus! Hey, listen though, but let's rejoice a little bit. We have a new pope.
Okay. Right, so that's not the news. Obviously.
That's not the news. I just wanted to share that. That was my news to say. Like,
you haven't missed anything. We're about to talk about what the news is now, guys. Me and Pockerz, you know that we're lighthearted on here and we joke about stuff. This is a very serious topic and is something that we are not joking about initially. Yeah.
John, can I say it? Can I say it just so that people understand? Because I think people assume that I'm going to be the one that's going to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be mess it up is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So what we're going to say is true. You know, we have seen it with our own two eyes. We know exactly what's going to happen, and we know exactly what we're going to say. This is, yeah. I mean,
she doesn't even know the news.
She will eventually.
She will, but she doesn't know it either, which is very interesting. So if you're watching, which you most likely will be, this will be very interesting news.
Hello, Paris.
Right. So everyone, thank you so much for tapping, sharing, and generally being here. We appreciate it. We're going to now share the news with you. Over to Pockerz.
I don't want to mess this up. Okay.
So I have to get my name up as well on the other screen.
I do generally have this written down, so and I don't even have that much to say, but here we go. Okay, guys. So we have seen evidence that Annette is being investigated for benefit fraud.
Yes. Now, that is entirely true. There is no information made up there. That is entirely true. She is being investigated by the Department for Work and Pensions fraud team. It has been reported by multiple people to them over the recent months. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that a lot of her life is put out on TikTok. And so when there is enough evidence gathered of such a thing, these sort of these sort of government departments will actually look into it. And so they confirmed today, literally a spokesperson from Department for Work and Pensions confirmed today that they are investigating Annette for benefit fraud. That's the truth. There is no joke about that. It's not a lie. Now, we don't know the full details, right? We're not entitled to the full details. No. It's not anything to do with us. I can only tell you what they have stated. Now, these, Pockerz, these things can take a little while, can't they? We're looking at months worth of investigation here.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, obviously, it's not just as easy as, knocking at someone's door and going, "Hi, are you committing benefit fraud?" It's not like that. There's obviously full investigations that need to be done because obviously that is their job, and there's a lot of points to be made that that can build up a case for such things as this.
That now people are asking how we know this information. We will give you limited information tonight because the things that we have seen and heard are confidential. It shares information about people involved in it, and we can't go into that level of detail. What we can tell you is that we have heard from the people that I think it's fair to say that have reported it. I don't see any reason why we can't share that information.
That is true. And
they will tell those people when you report things like that whether they are going to look into something. Yeah, that's it. Now obviously the DWP haven't rung me and said, "Oh, John, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that we're looking into this lady." No, of course they haven't. However, they have confirmed that they've opened an investigation and that it can take up to, I think it was 6 months, wasn't it, to look into it?
Yeah, it was roughly about 6 months. 6 months plus, depending how big, obviously, the case is. Yeah.
So that's it. That's the factual part of this news that we can share with you. Me and Pockerz are not the ones that have started that investigation. We're not the ones that reported it. Believe it or not, myself and Pockerz are people that we don't want to get involved in that sort of stuff. It's not our area. We just come on here to make content and have fun. But people have reported it, more than one, and I want you guys to be the first to know that that is what's happening. Now, whether it's true and whether that's what she's actually been doing is not for us to say. We're going to go over some of the reasons why we think they might have done it and looking into it, but that doesn't mean we have factual evidence on her finances. That's got nothing to do with us. That isn't our area, is it?
Exactly. I mean, like, listen, we can speculate. I think we can all speculate on with some sort of defining points that actually kind of ring true to some degree and whatnot. But as I say, it is all genuine speculation at this point. But what we have just physically told you about the investigation is at 100% correct. What we will now go on to is thoughts, some, the speculation side of obviously how this may have obviously come to light, basically.
And I also want to add, there are some people in the chat that are obviously Annette supporters, and that's perfectly fine. My answer to you about, so there's no proof that she's actually committed fraud, we haven't said that she has. What we are saying is that the DWP would not open up a fraud investigation into someone without enough initial evidence or enough initial information to actually proceed with an investigation, because it costs them a lot of money to do so.
Of course, and also the other point is that we don't know that. That's why she's being investigated.
Yes.
That's genuinely the term of investigation. So, yeah, we're not the gatekeepers of her finances, but, well, they'll soon find out, right?
This is also the fourth investigation involving this lady since she started on TikTok.
Oof.
I think that's really important to share. So the first people that investigated her and what she was doing were the Charity Commission. The Charity Commission were looking into what she did with the Ukraine charity, what the charity were doing with promoting gambling on their page, if you will remember that. Wasn't it not long ago that the Gambling Commission were also investigating her competition?
That was a build-up of letters in support in putting the case actually across to them. So yes, she was also being investigated, maybe still currently being investigated by the Gambling Commission as well, because of the situation with the goodie bag.
Yeah, and Sophia said, understand that you and Annette don't get on, but why would you air the business on here? This is no different to any of the other TikTokers that you watch on this on here, reporting on the news, reporting on other TikTokers. How many times have you come across a live or a video where it's a video talking about someone who's being looked into or been arrested or any of that sort of stuff? It all gets reported on TikTok. So no, I don't think that we're out of line for saying what we're saying. Yeah, we're very careful in how we're wording it as well. Oh no,
100%. I mean, look, there is nothing that we're doing that is, in essence, wrong. We felt it was information that you guys deserve to know, and thus that is what we are doing.
But Sophia, whether we come across as spiteful or not, that's an opinion, isn't it? And that might be your opinion. And I don't think it's the opinion of most people, but that is entirely your opinion, and you're entitled to it. If you think someone is spiteful, that's fine. I know someone. I knew her for a long time. She is very big on TikTok, and so it's fair game to report on that sort of stuff. It's in the public interest.
Thank you.
So no, I don't think there's any reason why we can't talk about that.
No.
And of course, she was being looked into for contacting my workplaces. So there's actually 4 in the last, 14 months?
Yeah.
2 years. Different people have been looking into it. Now, investigations take a very long time. We should add that none of those investigations have actually proven that she's done anything wrong.
No.
But they also haven't finished. So,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but this again is no different to TikTokers looking at Tati Tara or any people that are getting public money and asking where they're getting that money from. And that's what we're going to move on to now. We're going to move on to talking about what our speculation is. I think that's really important that we cover off the speculation behind it. Now, just to be clear, me and Pockerz haven't seen bank accounts. It's none of our business what this lady earns or doesn't earn. However, in public interest, and because it's just darn right interesting, let's speculate what the hell's been going on over the last 12 months.
Indeed. I mean, where do we begin, sir? I guess we could... where could we start? Should we just work backwards, or...
Will we report if she's found innocent? Absolutely. If they come back and it's announced that she's innocent and we're able to find out, then of course we would say that.
Yeah.
I think that anyone who is actually getting benefits for the reason that they need them, fair enough, fair play, and I haven't said that she's not. What I am saying, and we're going to go into the reasons now, why we think it's a little bit suspicious, right? So we're going to talk about, you guys know, right? And we're going to go through it now. Where has she got the funds to do a lot of the things that she's been doing if she is below a certain threshold to entitle her to certain things? And that's, Pockerz, a little bit more about that, don't you? Because you were looking at it earlier.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, so let's just, take take a couple of steps back to her most recent return, and of course, her most recent return also involved the inauguration of little Beatrix Potter, which is her new doggy, which she didn't need to, but felt it somewhat necessary to actually tell people how much it cost her. And that was like, what, 1,200, 1,400, I guess?
Yeah, I was messaged 1,600, but it's somewhere between 2 and 1.
I guess it's within that ballpark figure, but, But
that's just the small expense with a dog,
Well, exactly, of course. We've got ongoing monthly costs for insurance. You've also got general food and that upkeep, I guess toys and those the things that she didn't call crates or something like that, but kind of looked like a caged den in my opinion. But now
a
crib. Oh God, not the crib, Jesus Christ. Honestly, I've got the clip of her saying that, and I'm like, you what?
Yeah, I know. And it's not just that though, is it? If you take a step back, and this is not me digging into someone's personal life. This is all stuff she's put on TikTok. It's all public information.
And that is what I think is very important, that we always remember that, like, if me or John decided to sit on live and talk about our private lives and talk about XYZ 1, 2, 3, then, and we put it all out there for you lot, then you guys have a somewhat right to talk about it because we put it out there. So, you've got that. This is all information that we've been given because she's said it on live.
And I love the fact that disabled people are able to get out of their house and go and have holidays like the rest of everyone else. There's no reason why you shouldn't be entitled to do that just because you're on benefits. That's not what we're talking about this evening. What we're talking about, there's a difference between going on a £500 holiday on benefits because you can afford it and going on a £4,000 cruise plus expenses, moving to a new property, having moving expenses gifted to you from family members. Now, does that put you over the threshold? Question mark. That is the sort of thing that they'll be looking at. All of those amounts of money that get transferred and put into things, there is a threshold. There is an amount that can be legally given to someone within a 12-month or 24-month period. And if it goes over that amount, then they're not entitled to receive certain things. So that's the sort of thing that they're going to look at. Now, the reason why they're investigating this is because all of that is screenshotted and video recorded. She's talked about it. We're not making that crap up.
It's literally the words from her mouth.
Exactly. So I think it's really important that you understand that there's so many elements that are involved in this. Like we said, new dog. We're talking about moving property. We're talking about cruises. We're talking about teddy bears. Now, we know for a fact that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds has been spent on teddy bears in a short period of time because she talks about that as well. Right. So if you're struggling to get by and things, suddenly you're buying teddy bears as well, then the question is going to be, how are you able to do all of that? Where is that extra money coming from to fund those things? Now, there could be a completely legitimate reason for that, right? There could be. She's openly said she hasn't got a job.
Well, no, she has, John, because TikTok is her job.
Of course.
But
and Cutting Edge Dan is correct. She also has a very large Swarovski crystal collection. Now, those are not cheap. Those are not cheap. Now, what about all the gifts that she was given? So, if we go back, we're talking about the Dyson Airwrap. We're talking about the necklaces that she was gifted for birthdays and things. You are entitled to some of that, of course. However, once you go over a certain threshold, again, with gifts, it all counts into your threshold of what you're allowed.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're investigating. And they have all of the proof and all of the evidence of screenshots and video recordings of her talking about all of this.
And I think it's obviously this is where the speculation comes in, because I have sort of said this to John before we came live and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't think she is as dumb as what she may put out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like when she comes online, she does portray some kind of caricature of herself. And I guess we all do that. Like, I do that, John does that. But when we do come off the live, we are still somewhat genuine in especially when we're talking to each other. Thank you, Mandy, you sausage. Thank you. No, you get a special.
Pizza, mute.
There you go. So, when we come off the app, we do have genuine conversations and whatnot. But when she comes online, she is specifically like this caricature, because if you think about it, as I say, in one breath, she'll say one thing, I'm, pleading poverty. And then in the second breath, like, a day later, she's like, oh yeah, I've just got this dog.
Yeah. I want to address something, because I've seen a few of these comments where people are saying Pip isn't means tested. We're not talking about the Pip element. We're not talking about the Pip element. The Pip element is a certain amount of money. There's no way she's living off of that, just that amount of money. She's on other benefits, which she's openly told you, because when she gets more income from TikTok, she can lower what she gets on benefits. She's openly said that to you all. So we're not talking about that kind of benefit. I think Pip is a wonderful benefit for people that need it. I have no issue as long as you actually need it. We're talking about universal credit. We're talking about other types of benefits here. So just to be clear, that's what we're referring to. Now, I want to let you know as well, I told Pockerz this before we went live. I have a friend who works for not the UK, but for a different DWP branch, basically. Okay. As I said, I'm not involved in this. I haven't asked them to look into it. They're not even a part of the UK part of it. They can, if needs be, connect to your bank accounts and read whatever transactions you've had go through your accounts. All they need is a little bit of paper signed, and they can do that. So part of the investigation would be to go through all of those transactions. That is how they conduct the investigations. So, there's absolutely no reason why the DWP couldn't go in there and have a look.
Yeah, I mean, Observer is right. Yeah, they are cracking down on that, so that same kind of power is like over here as well. Because it stops individuals being able to manipulate the system, and I get that, because I believe the system is there to help and support when it is needed, not to be abused, of course. So so we go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say. So we were talking about like the different things that made us speculate it. So hold on a second. Do you want to fill in for a second?
Yes. So there I was. Sorry, that kind of conversation.
Okay. I have more information that I obviously can't share because it's personal information. But from one of my sources, effectively, there is a way of getting. She has ways of getting additional income. And so that additional income is what is being investigated. I'll show you the screenshot of what I've seen off the air so you can read it yourself. But obviously, I can't share that on here because I promised I wouldn't.
Of course.
But obviously, I don't want to share the contents of that because I also think that goes into her family information, and I don't want to do that either. But let's just say that if she is getting an amount of money from somewhere, then that should be counted as income. And if it's not declared appropriately, then that's where they investigate it.
Exactly.
I see what.
Yes, I know. I'm seeing all these comments, and I'm just like, you guys, like, oh my god, you don't know how badly I'm about my tongue. I'm like, yes.
I mean,
sorry.
If it was Pockerz Jon on a Tuesday, we'd probably be saying that.
Serious face.
So, was there anything else you wanted to add, Pockerz? I think that we've been very factual and to the point, really. We speculated, but we haven't accused. So
it wouldn't, of course, like the whole innocent till proven guilty situation, blah blah blah. I get that. The reason why I think it's important to let people know that she's being investigated is because for years, we see so much, and surely it has to culminate to something, right?
Yeah, I mean, they would look into things like the PIP as well, wouldn't they? Because there are so many clips of her out and about. There are so many clips of her in her home, getting up and, moving around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what that means, but what I'm getting at is they would look at all of that and go, all the stuff on her form that she put on there, does it match up with that? I think that's a fair speculation too to make.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, I think the thing is that they won't just look at a very small part of it. They're going to look at the whole picture, right? Tours, I get. I mean, I have heard it is incredibly hard to get, but I also can imagine in certain situations that I guess it also may be quite easy to lose as well.
Yes, especially with them cracking down at the moment, and also people in the chat have been saying things like family helping you isn't income. Actually, when it comes to benefits, family helping you can count towards your allowances, and so if you go over a certain threshold, you will lose out on benefits. It's simple. Not all of them, maybe it'll just be adjusted to a percentage, but yes, you can't just gift your family loads of money. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think it's if it's seen as like regular, like, I guess regular money coming in, basically. So like 50 quid, 50 quid, 50 quid. Like, or it's that kind of thing. Because then they're gonna. Then the question is, well, hold on a minute. Who are they, and why are they giving you money? So I think it works more in the sense of, like regular payments, and then it's, okay, like, would that actually take you over that threshold kind of thing? Yeah.
But like I said, yes, they may give her a monthly allowance and all that sort of stuff, and family giving you a monthly allowance is perfectly fine up to a limit.
Yeah.
But does that a monthly allowance take into account moving fees, holidays? Dogs, this is what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that when we're speculating, we're saying, is that being taken into account? Are they going to be looking at that? That's what we're saying. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your dad helping you with stuff,
Of course not.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when it all adds up, then that's a different thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. As I say, you said you got new fish, the dog, the move, the copious amounts of that she's bought. The question is where is that coming from? Where's the funding for that? Because if you go look at a tick leap, you can see that the job that she, proclaims is her job. She's not exactly earning minimum wage on her job.
Yeah.
The question then remains to be asked, well, how are you funding a lifestyle that goes beyond the means of your income from the benefits that you get?
And as her friend, I never really went into finance other than when she asked me for advice. And I remember talking to her about when she was starting TikTok, she wanted to be able to properly declare her TikTok earnings. And I gave her advice on that and how she would set it up so that she could, she can also claim things like her phone back off of that and things like that. That is all perfectly genuine. I'm not saying that on TikTok she's done anything wrong, because she did actually even ask me about it. What we're saying is when you combine everything that she's spoken about openly on TikTok, does that amount to what they're investigating? That's all we're saying.
Of course, I mean, Oppo Viz also is saying as well, because then there's also then the tax element. Like there's, it's if it's taxable income, then you need to be paying tax for it, whether you're employed or not. Because as far as anyone's concerned, it's just like, well, you're getting this money, and then you're claiming something else on top of that. And you're getting the full allowance there, so you shouldn't be getting. It can get a bit sort of like messy in certain respects. But if you stick to the facts of the matter, I feel like you the point is still the same. You know, she's living.
How many people on benefits? And this is not a dig because, you know, I love the fact that people get out and about and enjoy themselves. But how many people on benefits can afford to go to Comic-Con, go to London all the time, go and see different shows, go on trips and stay in hotels multiple times a year, then go on a holiday and a big cruise? You know, does that all add up to someone that is on those sort of figures? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then to come online and go, I've just spent over $1,000, we know that much, on a brand new puppy. And it's like, hold on for just 2 seconds. Like, if you're on, you know, benefits, the question is to be asked, well, how did you afford that? And that's obviously, I say, it's no dig at, you know, at the benefit system or anything like that, or people on the benefits, but it is just a very important question. How did you afford that? And I can guarantee you, if you were in her live and you asked her that question, you'd be blocked faster than you could imagine. Because she would rather not answer such a simple question with a simple answer. She would much rather just block you, mute you, have a way with you, and forget about you. Because I speculate in the sense of, that to me seems like that's a kind of behavior that you're trying to hide something. But that is my opinion.
Now, as a private citizen, you have a right to privacy. So, like, if I have a job, I don't have to tell you what I earn. I don't have to tell you why I bought 3 holidays last year, because that's my money that I earn and I'm spending it. Right? Yeah. We're not like that here. That's not what we're doing. No. We're talking about someone who receives public money, right? Therefore, it's in the public interest to know, is that money going to the right people? That's it, you know? Yeah. And you would question anybody.
100%.
You would question anybody that is in that position. And I think it's a very fair thing to do. If you're receiving hundreds and hundreds of pounds a month from our taxpayers' money, we would want to make sure that it's going to the right people for the right reasons. Now, no one is saying she's not disabled and that she shouldn't have PIP. We don't know that. Yeah. What I've seen of her, she very much does have a lot of health problems, right? But we're not just talking about PIP here. Right. Yeah. So please don't come at us just for that personal thing, you know?
Yeah.
You have, I'm a taxpayer and I don't care. Have you questioned anyone else? Right. Can we have a pointless poll? Can we have a smiley face for all the taxpayers in the audience who would like to know if their taxpayer money is going to the appropriate people for benefits? That's a smiley face if you want to know, and a sad face if you couldn't care less. Let's do the vote now. And you know what we'll do? We'll see what people think. How about that?
There you go.
I think that's fair.
I mean, there's 428 of you. I mean, as Miss Red would say, you know, get on it, sort it out. I don't watch
TikTok is another form of news. TikTok is another form of public information and public fun, public entertainment. This is no different than someone being on the news or being on Twitter because of something they've done related to benefits or whatever. We have never said that she's done anything illegal.
Nope.
We're purely reporting what we know to be fact. That's it.
Which the fact is that we know that she is being investigated for benefit fraud.
And that is a fact.
Legit fact.
So thank you, everyone, for your poll. I think that sort of proves...
Well, there you go. Angel numbers. 111.
I mean, Anna, very good point. She normally wouldn't care, but it's so unfair nowadays. I'm not saying that this particular person has done anything wrong. However, in general, if someone has been claiming the wrong amount of benefits and may not even realize it as well, they may not realize that all their allowances are incorrect or whatever. Yeah. If they are doing that, surely the money saved there could go towards someone who hasn't been able to get it, you know, because they do genuinely need it. And so it's not just this one case. There's actually people that are doing it a lot worse and are actually really playing the system. And we're not saying she is one of those people. We don't know. But you've heard cases where all of this happens, you know? You've heard it all the time.
And it's interesting as well because she comes on a public platform, I say, on one hand, pleads the poverty, but then on the other hand is also kind of almost in a weird smuggy, braggy way, sort of go, oh, but look what I've done. I've now got a brand new dog that cost over $1,000. I've now got fishes. I can't afford to move, but all of it, it's going to cost me £4,500. But all of a sudden, boom, I've managed to move. I don't understand why this hasn't happened sooner. Actually, to be honest with you.
What was it you mentioned to me about subscription money earlier as well?
Oh, so the subscription money that she gets, so that any subscription money is also declarable taxable income. So whilst obviously she was subbing it up last year for the, for the giveaway thing, that is also all of that money that she received for the subscriptions each month was taxable.
Yeah,
which should have been declared.
That's probably the bit we're not questioning. Like, I think she does declare TikTok earnings. I think she'd be silly not to.
Yeah.
TikTok earnings get reported automatically to HMRC now. So I don't think necessarily that she's actually gone out of her way to do anything incorrect there. But as we said earlier, they would not open an investigation unless when they looked at all the facts that were laid out in front of them, they would have just gone, no, this isn't a case. And they would have closed it then and there.
Yeah.
The fact that they've turned around to the people that have reported it and said, actually, we do have a case to go in and look at this. There you go,
Yeah. I think...
SGG, I literally just answered that point.
Yes, Mrs. Bland, it is a competition.
Bex, we have proof that the investigation is going on. We've never said that she's doing anything untoward. We have speculated what we think she might be doing, and we've said very clearly that's speculation. As someone who benefits, Beck, from some of that money, it wouldn't surprise me that you would be on that person's side anyway. It's not speculation on her spending when she talks about it every time. She comes on and tells everyone what she spends all of that money on. She's got all of those teddy bears. She's got all of those holidays and trips that she goes on. She's just got a new dog. There's a lot of information out there, and all we're saying is that's now going to be looked at.
And I think that is probably the more logical thing that we should be focusing on, is the fact that it's actually being investigated. At the end of the day, though, systems in this world might not work perfectly, because nothing is perfect. At the end of the day, the system is saying, yes, we are going to look into this. Yes, we are going to investigate this. And I think that is, that little tick of, victory, because as we said, that's money that should be or could be going to somebody that actually deserves it and needs it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if
Beck says, how do you even know she bought the puppy herself? Whether she bought the puppy or was gifted the puppy, Bex, it doesn't matter. It all counts towards being gifted an amount of money out of your allowance in a year. So if she was gifted the money to buy the puppy or given the puppy free, that has a monetary value against it. You might not know that. And this is the thing, this is our whole point this evening, that the reason it's being investigated, if it was bought as a present, it doesn't matter. When you're on benefits, if you're gifted a certain amount of valuable items or money, it all counts towards what allowances you're allowed. That's it. I mean, you can Google this. You can Google this yourself. Like, literally, Google universal credit, gift allowances, family gifting, all that sort of stuff. It's all on Google. So this is what we're trying to say. I never said that she's just spending all of that money. No. We know that a lot of it doesn't. We know she hasn't got a job, right? Because she tells everyone. That doesn't matter. That's not the point at hand. The point at hand is all of this money comes from somewhere. It all is being spent on things that realistically. And I have to say this, I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, guys, but if someone is receiving money from the government, whether it's means tested or not, and you're receiving a certain amount of money to go towards things like wheelchairs and all this sort of stuff, if you're then buying teddy bears and stupid little niggly things like a Christmas tree made from Jellycat and all this stuff, why should the public then fund you money on top of that? if your money is going towards those things. That's my personal opinion. You're not going to change that personal opinion.
And I feel like with that point is that like she puts everything on here, okay? So when she then turns around and goes, oh yeah, I've got this jelly cat, it takes 2 seconds, Google, right, 200 quid for that jelly cat. Question, where did it come from? You know? Who funded that? And I think it's then wrong because, like as John said, you know, like when that money is, I guess, somewhat designed to help with, what do you call it? You know, like with help. You know, like with a PA, carer. You know, like it helps go towards paying that so that then you can have a better quality of life. Instead, my opinion is that she's taking a lot of money that she's getting and using it to fund whatever she decides on the day. Oh, today I'm going to go buy a teddy bear worth £300. How much was Beast of Bodmin, John?
At least £300. It was 330 or something. But
I know that was gifted.
She bought multiple.
But it's
multiple teddy bears in the same day of hundreds of pounds each. So if based on what she's told us and what's been seen online, she's been buying thousands of pounds worth of teddy bears over the last 24 months.
Yeah. All for what gain, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so she was, and then on another point, when she was saying it was going to cost £4,500 for her to move, but what she couldn't do is really like look at the collection of teddy bears that she's got, the amount of money that's sitting there, you know, and rather than selling them on, you know, getting money back from that kind of thing, you know, to help herself out. No, she instead decides to come on live and then starts pleading poverty. Thus, that is where the problem is.
I think this is what people need to understand. Like people, like as a general, people watching this, the majority of you are going to agree. There'll obviously be some people that just want to argue. The fact is, if someone wants to get benefits to help them with their disabilities, I'm all for it. You know, if you need aids to go and get on with it, please go and claim your benefit that's there for that reason. But don't then come online and tell us all about your new dog and your teddy bears and your £4,000 moving bill. You know, there's no need to share that level of information online. That level of information is now under scrutiny, and that's all we're reporting on. And
at the end of the day, as I say, the system knows, the system will do what it needs to do. As I say, like they wouldn't just investigate somebody without substantial evidence because of the amount of time and resources it's going to take to investigate that one person. You know?
Yeah. All you guys need to think about, you've seen all the clips on FYP and everything like that. The DWP will look at all of those live recordings, clips. They have access to bank accounts, and they will look through all of that and decide whether all of that is genuine or not. And they've said they'll do that in the next 6 months. So I would like to think that we'll know more information by then. However, the key thing is that they don't share the outcome of their investigations with the people that report it. So, because that's all against, you know, the law and all that.
John,
stuff.
Sorry, just to cut you off, because I'm gonna. Queen of Kindness actually makes a very valid point we've not even touched on. Annette told Mel Moon she couldn't afford to get the cyst removed, but she wastes it on crap, and she goes and buys a dog. Like, she would rather buy a dog to make her feel better in the moment than use money that she obviously has from somewhere to actually better her well-being physically.
Yeah, well, it's of my personal opinion that she doesn't get the cyst done because it gets her more views. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. That's my opinion. You know, she could, and she's not the type of person to lie and to say that, go to the doctor and say it hurts or whatever. I get that. She's openly said that.
Yeah.
But there's certain angles and certain things that she does when she's on live that just say to me that it's more about the viewership than it is about getting the actual problem resolved. That's it.
Yes, and then this boils back down to my original point that I've made ages ago, is that she says she doesn't want the drama, but yet she'll do everything within her power to perpetuate the drama. She literally is the one feeding the fire. Like when she then does something such as going to buy a dog, or, claims that, say, she needs all this money to move, but she still managed to move though. So what, did she get the £4,500? God knows. But she says that she wants to stay in her own lane, that she doesn't want the drama. But yet, last night, all she did was feed the flame, feed the trolls, feed the people that were, saying whatever the heck they were saying that she didn't like. And considering then, in the day before that, she turned around and said that, she's had some time off for her mental health. She's coming back on, she doesn't want it to be a big thing, and yet she did everything completely incorrectly and allowed TikTok's, the negative side of it all get straight back into her brain, and she has learnt nothing. Thus, I also personally believe that not only is she doing things to perpetuate the drama, I feel like she's now just doing this as some kind of weird rage bait thing. Because this is all attention that she's gaining. There's no positivity behind it. All she's doing is literally perpetuating the drama, getting attention, but what she can't handle is negative attention. Rather than doing something good on her platform, she's just perpetuating the drama and focusing on the negative. And I'm sorry, I don't believe for a second when she turns around and says, but I can't see through the good comments, I only see the bad. Then don't be on a platform where all you're going to get is negativity.
Yeah, Jackie Barrowman, who I know full well is an Annette supporter because I've seen her loads of times, has said no one would have evidence of a DWP investigation. That's data protection law. No evidence exists. Actually, Jackie, to be clear, when someone reports it and multiple people report it and they get told that it is an investigation and they go into full details about that, which again I can't share, then yes, we do get that information. Gifts are considered taxable.
Yes,
gifts are
sub-ins.
Considered.
Yep.
Yeah, everything is considered against what you bring in. It's considered against your allowances that you have. So we are being very clear on what we know. We were told from the sources directly. We've seen the information. And yes, they have confirmed that they are doing that. Now, no, I didn't ring up the DWP myself and say, could you tell me about so-and-so and whether they're being investigated? No, you're right. They wouldn't tell us.
Of course.
That's not what we did, though. And we've told you all. We've told you all how we got this information.
Yeah, and LTJ says, drama brings in views. Of course it does. But what she can't handle is the drama. Because when it's about her, she can't, when other people are talking about her, she can't control the situation, as we've already sort of discussed multiple times, that unless she can control the narrative, she can't control herself and she can't handle it. And thus, obviously, the spiral starts. And literally, she's been back for 2 days and she's already span out. She's literally like a newborn deer on ice. It's I can't see.
And for once, it had nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us.
Literally nothing to do with us. The thing is, it just shows you that whether she's blaming us for all her life's problems or whether it's someone else coming into her live, or even must have been hundreds of people doing this because it wound her up so much.
Yeah.
It's not just one person that causes her to feel like this. It's everyone. And if that's the case, then sometimes you just need to look at how you're dealing with it. And you need to look at your actions on this app. And maybe, just maybe, you are the problem.
Yeah,
not everyone else.
Lisa Marie said, the designer puppy backfired dramatically. It's like she bought the dog or obtained the dog, however which way. It's like she's done it in the vein of that we'd all forget all the other shit that she's done prior, and we'd all go, look at the puppy. No. Unfortunately, we see through the fact that you've got a new puppy, and we still know exactly the kind of lady you are. That dog ain't protecting you from shit.
I mean, what I will say, is, what goes through someone's mind, right? They've gone off the app because they want to get some time, to themselves. Fair enough. That's what we've always said to people.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, get some time away from the app. Not a problem. However, what goes through your mind when just before you went off the app, you were telling everyone you couldn't afford everything? You started a GoFundMe to help you with moving. You were asking for gifts and things to help you with it. What makes you think coming back and within 2 days showing everyone your designer pedigree Chihuahua and then all the things you bought for it is a good look? Who thinks that? What world is she in?
A deluded person.
Exactly.
Like delusion has set in so much. I feel like, you know what it is? It's like I feel like her tapestry of lies and drama and all that sort of shit has become so interwoven that she's just like, it's all just a mess. What I thought she was doing when she announced that she was coming back as such, what I thought she was going to do was say that she was going to essentially have like a rebranding. She was going to come back. She was going to focus on this. She was going to she's got it like clear in her head, and she was going to articulate exactly what she wants her channel to be, what she wants her live to be, what she wants her videos to be. And yet she didn't do any of that, and she has literally just instantly turned and focusing on all the negative, all the bad. And it's just like, I mean, look, think of it this way. The amount of people that have already, been saying stuff that we can obviously clearly see are Annette supporter. Do me and John look phased when there's 425 people in the room? No. Why? Because we don't really give that much of a shit, whereas she takes it so much to heart. I mean, Christ alive, I know wear my heart on my sleeve or whatever, that, John, but, but like...
Well, we could stop TikTok tomorrow and just get on with our lives. Like, we do this because we have fun having a laugh with everyone. That's why we do the Tuesday shows. That's purely what it's there for. And it hasn't just been about Annette. We've been doing the other shows as well. We're trying to come up with new shows. Pockerz is coming over to my house on Saturday, and we've got completely unrelated content going on as well. But I do accept that we talk about her quite a lot, and I think that's because we both have personal experience of her, and therefore we can talk about it. I don't see any reason why you can't talk about that.
No, I mean, that's also why we essentially limited ourselves to, 1 day a week. Obviously today was a special case. Yeah,
but also, we're talking about the whole dog thing. Now, I don't begrudge any disabled person from having a pet. Actually, I think it can help a lot with the loneliness, especially elderly people as well. The fact you can give them a dog or a pet, that really helps cure loneliness. I think it's great. The difficulty comes in when you're talking online just a few months ago, telling everyone, I can't look after a dog. I'm not going to get another dog because I can't look after it, can't walk it. And then she comes back 3 months later. Oh, here's my new puppy. So, Robbo, I think we've explained how we got the information. I'll explain it one more time just to be clear, because I know you've looked it up and you are 100% correct. If I rang the DWP now, they would not give us this information. You are 100% correct. However, if you ring up the DWP and you want to make a complaint and actually report what you believe to be fraud, they will inform you then and there what their next actions are. They have to do that by law. So what they've done on this occasion to multiple people have said, we are investigating this. It will be up to 6 months. We cannot tell you the outcome of this result. Now, I've been open and honest with you and told you that's what we know. We're not making that up. That is fact. I have not rung up DWP. Pockerz has not run up DWP. They have not sent us out a statement, anything like that. That is how we found out the information. No, I'm not annoyed. I just want to be clear. That's all we're doing tonight.
Yeah, the fact was that we know that she is being investigated for benefit fraud. Everything after that is the speculation of ourselves and you lovely lot as to why this has now culminated into us being able to tell you such a fact. I think that's...
And I think, as we've said, they would not report back that they're looking into something if they didn't have enough information in front of them to start looking into. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. So we
Thank you, Bert.
we have always, and this is what I said to Pockerz before we went live, because we were umming and ahhing, being honest with you, about whether we even would tell you this, right? We weren't sure.
Yeah.
And we've always said to you guys, we bring receipts. When have we not brought you receipts? Whenever we've talked about charities, gambling, whenever we've talked about goodie bags, we've had the bloody goodie bag itself. We always bring you receipts. And that's all we're doing again on this occasion.
Stop it, Becky, you sausage.
What's Becky said?
She said, "Go fund me for Luna's legal costs. Donate to Pockerz or Jon. They'll forward it on."
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, look, jesters and jokes. I cannot show you a piece of paper with people's names on proving that what we're saying is true. No, and we're very open and honest about that. But what we can say is that we know from the people that have reported this that it has been fed back. That is what they are doing. We've said that from the very, very beginning of this live. We've said it 4 or 5 times now tonight.
Yeah.
That is the truth of what's happened. And we're not just doing it for the drama. We actually want people to know that information. I think it's fair. It's public information as to the point of what's going on. It's not public information what the result of that is. If anyone is ever found guilty of something like that, then you know that it gets reported by newspapers and local news and everything anyway. So if that happens, I'm sure you will hear about it. Someone will grab an article somewhere and you will see it. But these things take months and months. They take months and months.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. That is what we have for you on that, and that's the facts.
Yes.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's talk about what Cutting Edge Dan is talking about as well. So Cutting Edge Dan, right? He's from Cutting Edge Creations. Cutting Edge Creations, you may or may not remember, were a friend of Annette's for quite a while. They went live with her a number of times. They make 3D printed items, such as this wonderful trash can. And in this trash can, they actually have a possum and rubbish in here as well. So these are little cool things that you can have on your desk. This is one of them. You can also get mini Pockerz and mini Jon. This is Pocker's head. I lost his body. Don't ask. They're lovely people. They're actually coming on a cruise with us later this year.
Yes.
They helped her move house, right?
Yeah,
they told
did.
That story.
Yeah.
When they helped her move house, his wife was there on her own to help support her move house. She then had a massive argument with the neighbours. He said to Annette, "Please do not have any more arguments. My wife is on her own with you. Please respect that." They went out of there for free to help her move. And while Dan was moving her car for her, she then had another big go at the neighbours and made his wife feel very uncomfortable and very unsafe. These are people. She then tried to badmouth that company, afterwards. Just like she did with Topsy Curvy.
Yeah.
Do you remember Topsy Curvy?
Well,
she
yes,
bought
of
some
course.
Of their dresses, and the minute they dared say, "We don't want to work with you," she then said, she edited the title saying, "Do not buy from them," in capital letters. You know?
She did a quick 180 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's, and that lends to her character as well. Like she naturally, if she can't get what she wants, then she thinks that she's got the influence to tell other people not to go there, when the last time I checked, that Topsy Curvy and Cutting Edge Creations are doing absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, in fact, they've had a lot more support on here since. They've had our support for a long time now.
Yeah.
And they had, I think, if you go and look at their recent videos, they had one of their biggest days of shipping out a load of items that were purchased from them.
I saw the pile. I was like, Jesus.
That's a lot of stuff. So, we love supporting them. And we will be 100% honest with you and say that whenever we do a merch deal with them, we split it 50-50. Like, we make sure they earn a decent amount for what they do. He quotes a much lower price and we always tell him no.
I know.
More.
Yeah, we're just like, seriously,
Yeah. So guys, do check them out if you get a minute. He's
Please.
In the chat now, Cutting Edge Dan. Their account is called Cutting Edge Creations. Go and have a look at their shop and see all the fun little things they do.
Yeah, we love Topsy Curvy too.
Yes, we do. In fact, I've been speaking with them. I don't know them really well, but one of our friends who were meeting on the cruise has done a photo shoot for them. So Sham, she did a photo shoot for them, and she's been in their dresses and stuff. And she's a lovely lady too. We're going to meet her on the cruise. Your guys will meet her too.
Yeah.
It's a small world, isn't it? It's a small world.
It's a small world.
So that's it, really. I don't really have anything else to add at this point. Like, we don't need to keep dragging it on and on and on. I just wanted everyone to know, and we talked about it earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
That this is what we decided to talk about tonight.
100%.
So there you go.
Did you want to watch the clips?
We can watch the clips, yeah?
So, obviously, whilst I've been... Oh, no, Mama T said open the boxes. Should we open the boxes first?
We'll have to police, like, the timings of it, because... Justice John is rearing his head. Yeah, no. So, if you guys want to join the box, we don't mind, but if you're going to be an arsehole, you're going to get yeeted faster than Tweety. And you'll only have a few minutes, because we ain't got time to do loads and loads of people tonight, so...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right, Justice John.
Justice John is ready to police the situation.
Yeah, hold on, bear with.
Oh, is he going to get his glasses out? Oh, yes. Look at that.
Right,
Sexy motherfucker!
I brought up my AirPods for this very moment.
Did you now?
Yes.
It's like he knew. Okay, so if I admit a couple of people at a time, just know that like one at a time, I guess, unless it's like a decent conversation, But did I just instantly yeet?
You just added loads of people.
Did I? Oh. Hello, Pocket Rocket.
Hello, you two.
Hello.
I've had a couple of phone calls during the live, so I'm not sure if you've touched on it or not. So apologies if you have. How does she afford a mortgage being on benefits? Because I thought you couldn't have a mortgage if you were on benefits.
Well, I guess that's well, yeah. I mean, legitimately, we don't actually know. I mean, I guess that is a kind of a piece of information that we're not privy to. I don't know the ins and outs of. I know, like someone said earlier, that in Canada, if you own your property, you're not allowed to claim the benefits because you own your house. So I guess it just depends on that ruling, but I generally am not that sure. I mean, I can probably try and Google it now if you'd like.
Thank you. Catch you later.
Thank you. Okay, so can you be? Of course, I mean, you can be on benefits if you own your house. I guess the question is, she is solely her income is solely based, so we believe, is solely based on the benefits she receives. So how do you go to a bank and then say to the bank, I need a mortgage, I don't have a job, I only earn my money from benefits?
Yeah, I think, but it's for example, PIP, you can have lifetime PIP, right? So or at least long-term PIP. Now they do different types. You can have the shorter type where they only give it for 3 years and then review it or whatever. If you have a lifetime condition, then it's slightly different. So you can actually classify benefits as income towards a mortgage application, provided that it's a long-term benefit.
Yeah, I mean, also, like Anna's just said, did she buy it outright with the sale of the previous house though? And obviously, a bungalow, though they are quite desirable for the benefits that a bungalow has, that may be the cost of it. But did she not mention about a mortgage though, John?
Everyone's PIP gets reviewed once a year. No, it doesn't. PIP isn't reviewed yearly. Well, I mean, it depends. If they've given you a year of PIP, then they'll review it.
Then they'll review it to see whether or not they're going to give you another year.
3 years. They might give you 3 years of PIP, but it's not reviewed every year.
Exactly, Oppo. This is what I'm saying. Like a relative could be doing the mortgage, and then technically, obviously, she doesn't technically own the property.
and therefore what allowances are made to income / how much of that property is gift. Are you receiving a benefit by being in that property? You know, there's loads of questions about it that I don't know the answer to. You know, we're not going to
it's no, of course not. I mean, like, it's one of those questions that we'd have to go and like actually like ask a bank, like, what would a generic bank do in that respect? You know, like what because obviously they can't be seen to you know, they can't be seen to, I guess, discriminate because somebody's on benefits, but I guess the mortgage payments, as I'm saying, I guess it's a kettle of fish.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, she knows the answer, Dan. But go ask her, and I know what's going to happen. She'll she'll soon shut you down, wouldn't she?
Does anyone else want to join the boxes? Am I opening? Am I doing boxes?
Oh no, it's okay. We're gonna add Emmy and Cutting Edge Dan.
Obviously, Justice John doesn't have any justice tonight. Hello.
Well, no, Justice John can boot.
Oh, okay.
Justice John Yeats. There you go.
I'm not the one that opens my passage for people. I close my passage.
A ding dong, you do.
Yes, you are the opener of passages.
Yes, I am the opener.
How may we help, Emmy?
Hello, Emmy.
Hello. Well, it's just a bit about the kind of, because I'm actually on PIP and Universal Credit due to a injury that I've now got lifelong. We were looking at getting a mortgage, me and my partner. I technically could get a mortgage.
Yeah.
If I've got enough income. The bank don't really care as long as I can pay the bills.
I get that,
the mortgage. They didn't care. They just wanted to know how much. But he got the mortgage anyway. But regarding PIP and Universal Credit, all they cared about was whether you could do the monthly payments. And if not, you got the whole, get the like bailiffs round and stuff like that.
Lovely.
I guess, and I guess that's then like a certain reality into, of course, at the end of the day, they want to give you the mortgage because they obviously can, they make obviously a certain amount of money on it. And I guess in a really, like horrible way, if someone defaults on the payments, it's like, I guess like they haven't got as much to lose, I guess. Does that make sense? I'm like, I've never tried for a mortgage, but it's that whole thing where we'll lend you the money, but if you default, then we're still quids in. It's
exactly. But I couldn't afford the mortgage on my own when we were looking for houses, so I couldn't afford it. It was only him who could afford it. But that's what they said to me, as long as you've got the meat, as long as you can afford it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Emmy? So someone obviously receiving PIP. Would you have the money to go to Comic-Con in London, stay in hotels in London, go on cruises, pay $4,000 for moving, pay your mortgage on top, and then get yourself a £1,200 chihuahua?
Absolutely not. I do actually have my own rescue. I'm actually standing in a load of bunnies at the moment. But my life consists of these animals. I have quite a lot of animals, and I haven't been on holiday in 10 years. I haven't gone away because I dedicate my life for my animals. But I don't have that money. Like I live pay to pay. I don't have the extra. I look after myself and the animals, and that's as much as I get. But like I said, I haven't been on holiday. I don't buy new clothes. That I get it all off Vinted and stuff like that. So I don't have the money to go on. So I don't understand. I'm not a massive fan of Luna or Annette or whatever you want to call her. But and it does rile me up. I don't understand how she's got. Oh, excuse my bunnies. I don't understand how she's got a Chihuahua. With like I've got 2 dogs. I've got 2 Patterdales and a shepherd, and they are a lot of work along with all my other animals. And there's times that I am bedbound and I have to get my partner to take them out, and I can't see her doing that.
I guess I don't mean it as in like you've got the luxury, but I guess where you have your partner, at least so just think of it this way: say that you go live like Annette does, right? And you're telling people, but the key factor is that you know, and that you'd be able to articulate to an audience that your partner would actually step in when you cannot. She doesn't have that, and thus that's why then everyone genuinely has a legitimate concern. I mean, because and I don't mean that a bird is less maintenance, but you know, there's I'd say a bird can. I don't know enough about animals or birds, but I'm sure like Luna could stay in her palace, you know, for days on end. You know, as long as she's got.
We're ignoring the fact that we're not just saying any disabled people can't have animals.
Oh,
what
no.
We're saying is she has openly said on here that she didn't think she could look after a dog.
We watched that video on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
And I think a lot of people think, get a small dog, it'll be so much easier. I've got 2 Patterdales, they are quite small, and oh my God, are they a nightmare. They need more work than any of my other animals going. And Chihuahuas, if they don't get enough exercise and enough stimulation, they can get quite vicious. So I think she's thought, I'll get a small dog, it'll be nice and easy. And I think when that puppy then grows up, I think she might find there's quite a lot of issues because they do need a lot of stimulation.
Yeah.
I get that. Well, thank you, Emmy. Was there any final points you wanted to add?
No, I just love watching you guys, and yeah, thanks for letting me on to have
Do you
my
play
say.
bingo?
Yeah,
I do play bingo. I find it hard to keep up with my House of Crazy Animals, but I do watch every Tuesday.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much.
It's not happening next Tuesday.
Well, yeah, because I'm not here. But...
what?
Oh, no, don't say like that.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to make him cancel his plans, but he won't.
It's my child's birthday. That's never going to happen.
Well, shame on you, Pockerz.
I know. Sod me for being a good father, eh?
I know.
Let down one little brat or 300 people, you know?
Well done for being a good dad. I've got us
300 people.
That's not enough.
Thank you, Emmy. You take care.
All right.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Take
Thanks,
care.
Emmy.
Bye.
Bye. Daniel, you're up. I've invited you to unmute.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Hello.
I can hear myself. Oh.
Yes, I have your answer to the benefits of mortgage question.
Oh, lovely.
Right. Long-term benefits can be counted towards a mortgage at a percentage. Now, different benefits are classed differently. So, for example, job seekers, you'd probably get nothing because at some point you may actually get a job. But universal credit is a percentage, and disability benefits are a very high percentage. So because they consider a disability benefit is you're not suddenly just going to, for example, grow legs again, they're going to be quite high percentage because it's not likely they're going to go away. So you can actually obtain a mortgage while being solely supported by benefits.
We also have to assume that she had a lot of money in the previous house because she told us all that. So we know that. We know then that she's put some of her benefits towards the mortgage, you know. So our question is, even if it's only, say, £100 a month that she puts towards her mortgage and all that stuff, how is she then affording to do all of these other things on top?
Extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Well,
and this is where we're sort of getting to.
Yeah, I mean, I think she could have easily, I mean, I'm not going to give any information away, but
Yeah.
I know I live in the same area. So as an example, I know the area she moved from and the area she moved to. And she moved to a shithole. So it's probably easier to, you know, move without actually spending any of their equity and just keep the equity in the property. That's probably completely achievable. But as for how does she live from day to day and spending what she spends, I've helped move the catastrophic collection of shit. It's she spends an awful lot on crap, and to be fair, it's got to be coming from somewhere because there's no way that's solely coming from benefits.
Yeah, yeah, and I was just going to add that this is Dan, part of Cutting Edge Creations, And if you want to go and check out their stuff, please do.
Sorry, I'm quite blunt. I do have a way with words.
But Dan, you've had first-hand experience of the way she treats people, so we wouldn't blame you in this instance.
No, I mean...
Also, sorry, Dan, to interrupt you, just to say, Pockerz has gone over 5,900 followers, and I just wanted to let him know.
Nice.
Yes. 5,910
well done,
followers.
Fucking hell, thank you so much, everybody, you silly sausages.
The road to 6,000.
Fuck.
You carry on at this rate, I'll never catch you up.
Sorry, I'm not like I'm trying to be logical and focused. So yeah, I didn't even notice. Thank you, John, for that. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys get a special.
I do it for you.
Oh, babe, please.
Pitter mute.
Oh, thanks.
Just to Lula 50. Lula 50 in the comments. I was on, I wouldn't say friends. I was on good terms with Annette, and there were several things that Annette did that bothered me, and it kept ticking up that she kept bothering me, and then she did something that screwed over a lot of vulnerable people, including someone I consider a friend. And it was at that point I said, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to sit back and let her continue to screw people over for no reason.
Yeah.
So yes, I was on good terms with Luna, but I'll put it this way: I got to know her, and then I wasn't.
And sadly, Dan, you are not the first, sorry, but you are one of many that have been through this. One of many businesses that have been through this that she's tried to harm as well.
Yes, I mean, literally,
people still
your Pockerz and Jon figures got taken down.
Sorry?
Your Pockerz and Jon figures got reported for being gambling and a surprise-based item on our shop. So our shop got violations, and then they got taken down. We've dealt with it. It's been appealed. It's all been reinstated. It's not an issue. But we get attacked on a regular basis by people on her behalf or by her, and we know she's behind it because every time she goes live, the attacks pick up. So she was gone for 2 months. We were pretty much left alone for about a month of that. She came back and suddenly it all went up again.
But people still come into these lives and say that we're obsessed and that we're making it all up. And yet every day there are real life people that have been affected by this lady. And you guys are all on the internet and it's all very entertaining. Trust me, I get caught up in some of it sometimes. But the truth is, every one of us in this box and on live right now have met her in person, have been dragged into that whole sphere of absolute shite. And we want to let you guys know what she's like. It's as simple as that. More and more people come out every week.
I'll tell you something, John, something I don't think I've told you at Pockerz before. Tail end of last year, I spoke to Annette and I actually had a conversation with her. And I said to her, look, if the content she did when she met us, when she went to Bucks County Show and she showed off small businesses and stuff like that, because these agricultural shows we go to have a lot of small businesses that are just trying to get going and get some business, and it is an incredible place to go. And I said, if you did more content like that and didn't say obsessed with the drama, I said the drama would go away and people can't attack you for helping a small business. And this was the first sign when she turned around and said, but the drama gets me views.
So she said that to you.
So
yep.
My thought process behind her rage baiting basically has just been validated by that comment.
Yeah, I mean, well, we know the drama gets us views, right? And we don't hide that. But she's on live every day saying that she doesn't want it and that she's only on to share her power and all of this.
She revels in it.
Pitter mute.
Yeah.
It's the classic tactic of you do something to get attacked, then you play the victim, and that gains you sympathy. it's becoming more and more popular, and quite frankly, it's pathetic.
I'm very much looking forward to our cruise because we're all going to have a few drinks and a little gossip.
Oh, we're
gonna
be like old ladies at hairdresser. It's like, oh, did you hear about this one? Like,
didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?
You told me. You told me. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, Dan. I mean, that is legitimately interesting because in my tenure as a mod for her, she never admitted to something like that so bluntly and brazenly to admit to that.
It was weird, to be fair, because I messaged her on WhatsApp and I told her the idea that no one can attack you if you're doing something genuinely good for small business. No one can really attack you for doing that. And it was the message of going back and forth. And when I kept pushing that that's what she should do, she called me rather than answer on the messages, and then she said it over the phone. Yeah. And it's like it was so. As soon as my phone rang, I knew what was coming because it started to become more and more apparent who I was dealing with, and that's why I started to pull more and more away. And in the end, I wasn't really going live or anything. And it wasn't until that giveaway scam that I just said, I've had enough of this shit because it's just not okay. You know, scamming people is not okay. And to this day, it's now what, May? She still hasn't sent out the rest of those goodie bags. So she's still ripping 30 people off for that.
100%.
I want to see her give out those other 30 goodie bags.
Of course.
She's never going to do it.
Nah.
No.
I think it just backs up a lot of what maybe we're all thinking in general when you watch her and you understand her character. And as I said, I mean, like, after some incidences in recent sort of history, I have such a better understanding when somebody does something specifically to rage bait. That's why I sort of mentioned that earlier, because it's not just a matter of her perpetuating the drama. It's like she does it to keep herself in some form of relevancy. She probably hates that it's negative, but she'll carry on doing it because why? Because it's somewhat being kept relevant, you know? But
honestly, I don't even think she hates that it's negative.
Really?
I think what we're all forgetting is that I think she is actually a very smart lady. A very smart lady, very calculating and very manipulative. She manipulates people into supporting her on TikTok. She manipulated me to support her as a friend. She manipulated Dan to help move across. Sorry, Dan, if I'm calling you being manipulated, but basically,
no, it's fine.
She made you feel a certain way that she needed assistance, and you went and helped her, and she threw it in your face. I think she's a very calculating
the mistake she
person.
made with me is I will take a lot of shit from a lot of people. It doesn't really bother me. But if you do something against my wife or my kids, then all bets are off. I'm done. And that when she did that, knowing the situation my wife was in, and me specifically asking her not to because of that, then I was done.
So could you give us a very quick 1 minute story of what happened so that people who are watching who haven't heard it know what happened to you? Like a 1 minute. You don't have to go into detail.
Right. Basically, she required me to help her move because she needed her car moved from her house to her new house.
I moved the car.
And Sam was going to move the car. So I drove over there with Sam in my van, and someone made a phone call. And then
Pockerz needs to just tick a thing.
Okay. And then basically it was all delayed because she was taking her time doing everything. So I had to go. So I said to her, look, I'm leaving Sam here with you. She was already talking about kicking off at her neighbour, which I told her not to do. And I said, please don't do it. Sam has a spinal injury. She can't be dealing with this stress as well. Do not do that. Do not kick off at your neighbour. Just get in the car and leave. She agreed that that's what she was going to do. The second I was out of sight, she kicked off at her neighbour and started a massive argument in the street.
Yeah.
Exactly what I asked her not to do. And I wasn't there.
So she put your wife in a really bad situation, a really uncomfortable situation when she had a lot going on, and all you were there to do was to help her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't know the neighbour. I had no idea who they were. As far as, for all I know, they could be someone that would quite happily, chuck a brick at your head or something. I don't know. And so I don't want my wife in that situation. But having spoken to the neighbour, it's now clear to me the reason Annette would kick off at a neighbour is because she knows she could, and then the neighbour's not going to be that sort of person because Annette's a bully.
Well, you've heard it from another real life contact of Annette's there.
Yeah.
Annette is a bully.
Thank you, Dan.
Apparently we're the
No
bullies.
worries.
Thank you, Dan. Everyone go and support Cutting Edge Creations,
Yes.
please. A very small, sorry, I said that really bad. A small, very lovely family-run business. You can go and get some lovely 3D printed items from them. Some can be really cool little things like this. Look at this. He's got a little wiggly tail. And they've got loads of other little items that you can purchase, including a mini Pockerz and a mini Jon. So please do go and support them. And thanks, Dan, for coming in.
Mwah.
No worries.
Thank you, Dan. Right. Who have we got next? We got Charlene. I'm going to bring them all up, but one at a time, please, ladies and gentlemen. Charlene, Mrs. Bland, and June. When they load. Oh, I'm going to move you, John. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right, who's going first then?
Charlene.
Let everyone in and then.
Yeah, well, you know. Charlene, speak to us. Hello? Charlene? We hear you. Charlene, Charlene, Charlene. You're in my box, please fucking talk. Okay.
Next up.
Mrs. Bland.
Sorry. Hello.
What'd you call me?
Hello.
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 You can hear me. I wanted to go on the subject of this dog.
Yes.
My wife's disabled, and we have a Chihuahua. He's her service dog, and he is hard work. If he doesn't get walked twice a day, he goes loopy. He will get us up at 6 a.m. for his morning walk, and if you're a minute late, he goes absolutely loopy. The days where my wife is bedbound, I look after him. I work part-time, but the days where I'm at home, I will get up with him. I'll do everything for him. He can't just be left and ignored. So I just don't know how she's going to care for this dog.
It's
small, but they need a lot of affection, a lot of attention, and a lot of walking.
And of course, and I think the fact is as well that it is a puppy. So it's like, it needs probably a little bit more, like, there's more maintenance.
Hard working puppies. They're hard to train as well.
Yeah. And you think as well, it's just sort of like, and, we know that obviously there is a certain level of mobility issue that obviously Annette has, but like, how can she stop without, like what, I know it's all what ifs, but like that what if scenario. If she sat down and then the dog is over in the other side of the room and Luna then flies over there and then it's all hellfire, Yeah,
I mean, not to be crude, but I saw a video earlier and I didn't even spot the puppy until I rewatched it and it was tucked under her boob.
Yes, yeah. No. We use the term bountiful bosom. Bountiful bosom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worry about this little dog. Like, I mean, she's putting it in a cot that's designed for a child.
And look, listen, I understand
Alison in the chat said Chihuahuas are a handful. They really are.
What if the Chihuahua stuck its head through the bars, twisted its head, and Annette was asleep, and then it couldn't get out? Like, is that safe? Well, no, of course it's not. Like, anyone going to tell you that, John?
Our dog Stanley has such a routine now. Like, he knows after dinner time, he takes himself up to bed.
Yeah.
He gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, needing to go to the toilet, and then gets back in the bed again. Is she going to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, let it out for a toilet?
No, of course not.
And how's she going to pick up its poops and stuff when she's on a wheelchair?
I think the thing that I think concerns me, because I don't have any pets, I understand I understand, but I'm going to look at it from the angle of why she's going to get a cot for a puppy dog. And I understand that she might not have children. Like, there's just something like having a child. There's something about it that just makes me feel very weird and uneasy when...
The fact she stated herself after Beth, I will not get another dog.
Yes.
I cannot physically look after one.
Yep.
Pockerz, you getting onto like those adults that dress up as babies, like because they have this complex.
Yeah, not necessarily that as well. So where I take my boy, obviously, you know, I'm not going to disclose, but there's a specific location that I take my boy. Where
postcode?
It is, you know, but so basically where it is or whatever, they have like these.
Andy, you writing this down?
Fates and shut up, he knows. Like, of course he knows. Like they have these fates and these sort of fair things where, like, and this is I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's yes, Jane, you literally just took my words out of my mouth. The doll babies, and they have these big, extravagant like push chairs. Yeah, and when we go there, they're not there all the time. Don't get me wrong, but when they are there, and I'm literally walking, I've got my son's holding my hand. I just don't feel. It makes me feel uneasy. I feel like they might try and snatch him.
Are they
or
the
something.
ones that like wee?
What?
Like they can actually
like
wee?
I don't fucking know.
No, you can get dolls that wee.
Zyla in the comments just made a good point, saying the cot is so the dog can't go and do anything. It's laziness dressed as something else. It's so that she knows where that dog is all the time. Because puppies chew. It's going to be off chewing wires, skirting boards, you name it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She said openly the other day that Annette chewed through an electric cable. Imagine that
I
was the
don't think
puppy.
Annette chewed it. I think the bird chewed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Luna. Yeah, no.
Did I say Annette?
that is a different conversation, John. Different conversation.
I don't know how many sins is in an electric cable.
Too many, apparently.
Too many
Yes. Yeah. Oh, boy. No. I feel like if she's trying to, like, as I say, she's trying to substitute. Yeah, it's been basically a year or just over a year since Beth passed away, her old dog. Okay. I just feel like it's.
Well, she did say about mental health, right? So
Okay.
So she talked about mental health and why she'd been away.
Okay.
Now, do we think that getting a dog was a way of overcoming some of those mental health concerns?
But
No.
would you have a baby to get over mental health?
It just don't make sense, does it?
Oh, people do it to
Go
try
and
and
eat
save
a
marriages
chocolate
and things,
cake.
don't they?
Dog helps me.
Dogs
no,
do help your mental health. Our dog is my wife's service dog, but I just think it's for the attention because the bird's not getting the attention anymore as well.
I mean, the thing is just like, I've already said before that it's just like, I know that I could, if I had an animal, I would not be able to give it the time and justify the means or whatever. That's why I won't have a pet, right? If I was having a Menti bee, the first thought is not, I'm going to go buy a dog to make me feel better. I mean,
Well, she
buying
said she didn't
stuff.
get rescued
What he
because they're more
does
hard
is he
work
goes
and they
live
have
and he
more
upsets a load of
problems.
people.
Sorry, what? Like, I just heard noise.
No, I was just saying what he does is he goes live and then he upsets a load of people. That's what he does when he has
said
mental
she
health
She
issues.
got a puppy because rescue dogs are too much hard work and have too many issues.
We're going to have words after this. Yeah, no, you're right, Mrs. Bland. It's just like,
We
Yeah,
fought
just
long and
ignore
hard
us. We're
before
just taking
getting
the
our
piss.
dog. And we fought long and hard before getting our dog, and we figured out, between us we could do it. And he has an amazing life. He rules the house.
It's amazing. Yeah. I just think that if her reasoning is because she was having a bit of a Menti bee and all she wanted to do was make herself feel better.
Go and eat some chocolate.
Slimming World wouldn't like it, but she is literally just, once again, as I said, she has exacerbated the situation by bringing the dog into the equation, and whether she has thought about it or not, she has just added fuel to the flame,
I'm going to give you some really sensible financial advice right now, everyone watching.
Here we go.
Go and buy shares in Pepsi, okay? Because those shares are going to be skyrocketing.
They're going to be sky high.
Slimming World,
They're going to
yeah.
be sky high.
Yes.
Suddenly I'm getting reports of 10,000 litres being ordered You know, honestly.
I better stock
get
up for
your
the wife
shares in.
before they.
Yeah, go check.
Well, it'd be like toilet rolls all over again.
Yeah. Go check my my showcase out. Like, go buy your Pepsi Max. Right, thank you, Mrs. Bland. Is there any final thought you want to add?
No, I think you two are great.
Oh, you're amazing
Out
too.
Cutting Edge Creations.
Good cutting edge.
Yes.
3D guys around.
That's
There
my
you
wife
go.
in the
Well, of
background.
course, yes. Look at this mini Pockerz. Ooh, lovely. Mwah.
And headless Pockerz.
Yes, he likes to stick my head in his mouth. Pardon.
You'll have to drop me because I have no idea how to
Do
get
not
online.
stress. I will do it with great tidings. Goodbye, Mrs. Bland. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Hello, June. You okay?
Hi.
How the devil are you?
Oh, you know, here and there and everywhere in between.
Yeah, and what are you doing in here anyway, June? It's May.
It's gonna be May.
You know, that's a very good question.
Month jokes.
Month jokes.
It was such a funny joke that I had to check out for like 2 seconds.
Oh, thank you. I've got more.
Oh dear.
Go for it. I'm waiting.
No, I don't actually.
No. Don't never challenge him like that, June. You'll always come short.
Don't ask a follow-up question.
Yeah. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
How dare you? How can we help you?
So, I just, as we were having this wonderful long conversation, I realised that the local council can pay for your move. And it's a very easy process too. And they usually say, hey, you know, we can only do this once. But I've done it twice because they ask to see your bank statements just to check if you're getting benefits. And they're like so laid back. They don't even care. They're just like, whatever, choose from this list of moving companies that we partnered with. They bill us instead of you. Bob's your uncle, you can move. And that sort of revelation kind of struck me because I was thinking about how not only did she go on live and she was all like doing her bit, you know, like that performance that she does, and then the way that she treated Dan from Cutting Edge and everything. I think that there is a motivation primarily for chaos, and I think that one time that I was on your live like yonks ago, that I don't even remember what I said, but I'm probably going to repeat myself anyways, but there are people that just thrive on being a victim, and it's such a shameful spiral to be in because like she could have a wonderful life, and like if that persona that she's wearing was any bit true, there would be no chaos and people would be like, I hecking love you. I don't know if I can swear, but I fucking love you.
Oh yeah, you can swear. Fuck, shit, cunt, piss. There you go.
Like that one song. Do you remember that song? It was like, now let's talk about the word cunt. I'm like, that's a song about Annette. So, but that's that. Yeah.
Mute.
And my other point is that yes, she goes for the chaos, and I've already expressed once upon a time I'm dynamically disabled, so I'm not privileged because I'm disabled. I'm privileged as a disabled person. I have a dog. I've had him for 10 years, and there has been a lot of struggles. But every single day, without fail, I've walked him twice a day. And there was only like a period of time where my partner had to take him for like a week because my mental health was so bad. Oh, my snot is like dripping into the back of my throat. Anyways.
I don't know. Is this Annette with a different voice?
Yeah,
or?
sorry.
Hitter, mute.
Yeah, if I can hear it.
Pitter, mute.
It's uncanny.
Was that good?
Speaking of cans, get your new tonic cans now over in Pockerz TikTok showcase.
Go get it, guys. I love TikTok shop. I don't know why everyone's saying that. But yeah, so like I have a wheelchair. I use it when I like absolutely need it. And I get that like there's a little performance that you do when you're in a wheelchair and you're out in public where you're like, please don't treat me differently because I'll get out of my chair type sort of performance, but it's not like feel sorry for me, and that always gets me, because I was in Green Park when she was in Green Park, and I'm so happy that we missed each other, because if she even tried to have a conversation with me, I might have just thrown up immediately, and I was not in the state of mind. Like, I feel like she's the kind of person to like, hey, you're in a wheelchair, I'm in a wheelchair, let's be best friends. I would have sped away so fast, but
no, she won't be best friends because she wants to be the one. She doesn't want two of you. She wants to be the one. She wants to be the centre of attention. If there's two of you, you're competition.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
She'd ask,
That's
would
how she
do you
is.
mind leaving your wheelchair out of the camera shot just so it looks like, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you say about being sick from talking to her. Imagine sharing a hot tub.
That was Jonathan Christ Superstar. That was totally your choice. Do not fucking say that you were forced in there, Sam.
I'd
You
had
chose this life,
multiple
dude.
pina
You chose
coladas.
You were coerced by the pina colada.
Are you
Yes.
okay, John?
I'm all right, actually. Yeah, it wasn't as traumatic as going along to her big shave that she did. So I don't know if you know this, but she did a big shave for charity,
God,
which
here
actually
we
is one
go.
of the things when she first started I actually was really like, I thought she did a really good job with that, you know. I turned up, I filmed it for her, held the camera live and everything. She then starts shaving. The wind then changes direction and blows all of the hair shavings into me. And my whole t-shirt is covered in these things. That is my story. So you got nothing on me, any of you guys, okay?
Oh, you've literally tasted Annette.
I've got a very neutral question. What colour was the water when she got in?
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, Jude, go on.
Actually, you know,
No,
the
piss
hot
off.
tub
No, I'm
was-
not having that. That's disgusting.
the hot tub was slightly yellow, but I think it just needed more chemicals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh yeah, there were people sat outside at this pub we were at having food on these outdoor picnic benches, and the wind started blowing all of her shavings towards their food.
Oh, no. Was it like, did it build traction and turn into like a tumbleweed?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really focused on that. I was trying to have a polite smile whilst also noticing the horror of this happening to me.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You can be forgiven, June, but never again. Never again.
Do we want to watch a couple of clips then?
No, not really.
Okay, well, I'm heading off then. I'm actually going to take my earphone out, though.
Yes, you don't need it now. Listen, you lovely sausages. Listen, yeah, you'll be back, I know. Listen, thank you so much for everyone's support today, whether it was Gifty Poos, commenting, sharing, reposting, joining the boxes. Thank you very much, everyone, for giving your input. We appreciate all the support. Thank you for everyone following. I really appreciate getting me over to the 5,900 mark. So now we're on the road to 6. Yes, that's exciting, isn't it? That's so cool.
Mute.
Thank you. What?
Sorry.
What?
No, carry on.
What was funny?
No, I get messages from people on TikTok.
Oh God, are they saying his Pockerz okay?
No, they're just expanding on arguing in the chat, basically. So,
oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
people are saying they want clips. I'll do. They want to see the clips.
No, I think the clips is I think it's a different day, isn't it?
It's normally a Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know, Alison, you have been here since day dot. You're one of the originals. You legitimately are.
Yeah.
See, look, Alison is one of my original followers and has been a mod for me for donkeys. But you know,
I haven't been here and gifted basically, so start gifting, please.
No, fucking hell, John. No, that's what I'm saying, right? You know, like, but you know, I don't. You know, we could do our own things. You know, it's just like, yes, and Siobhan, yes, of course, Siobhan. Don't think that I weren't thinking about you, but you know, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Like, I have a nice little community.
And I once made a video about you at a party.
All around me are familiar faces. Well, actually, do you know what, John? We're actually coming up to the
anniversary.
To the anniversary.
Yes.
So that being said, if I can find it, should we?
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo.
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo up. Ba-ba-boo-up. I hate that fucking song. In fact, all I hear is "Money in a suitcase." Forget about the rap race. I'm talk about music. Pop music. Talk about that fucking dance. Honestly, that's all I fucking see on my bloody FYP. It's sad, but every time I see it, I'm thinking like I could do that dance. But like every time I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Pop music. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo up. Right, okay, so I'm gonna put up the clip of Jonathan Christ Superstar. This is before me and Jonathan Christ Superstar actually were together forever.
Yeah, this is back when Pockerz was placating and what's the other word to support someone that enabling? You were also enabling.
That was it.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on a minute. How long?
Was Annette's
what was
enabler?
No. Sorry. What was that? 6 years enabling. 6 years, wasn't it?
I know what you're going to say.
Was it 6
That's
years?
Not a valid point.
What was it? 6 years? You did it. I did it for months. You did it for
years.
That
is not a valid point because I actually stood up against her, and you just turned yourself into a little piss pot and left. You didn't actually stand up to her. I did. Okay. You know.
Yes, but she's done a lot worse to you.
Well, exactly. So I wasn't enabling, was I?
But you was at the time beforehand.
I did not enable anything. You were her chief enabler. It literally said that on your business card.
Yeah, the ones I gave out.
Do you not remember?
Yeah, no, it was a fever dream, mate. It was a fever dream. Also, here it is.
Pockerz was a enabler and I was a victim. There's two differences there.
Wow, what a way to play the victim. Damn.
One just say Baby Shark to Pockerz. Baby Shark.
You can't. Look, listen, this is fine. Listen, thank you for the follow-ins.
Sing at this party.
I don't fucking know too much.
I need a man to take a chance. And when the night falls,
oh God,
my lonely heart calls. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody.
Yeah,
I want to dance with somebody. If you guys don't know, that was Annette's song that she sang at the party.
Honestly, like being in the same room as her, I genuinely thought, wow, I'm listening to Whitney Houston.
Wow, you were in the same room as her as well. You have seen some live concerts. I bet it was like Grease the Musical. It's like that sort of level of production.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there was theatrics and all sorts. But yes, this is the video that
Who
John...
is the young lady?
That was another mod.
Oh, what was the mod's name?
Well,
what was the mod's TikTok name?
I don't know. I think it is actually her name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
Yeah, don't worry. If you don't want to share it, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Just let's go!
Okay.
I bet she's not a mod anymore, put it that way.
Well, of course fucking not. Jesus.
Where's the music? Okay, there we go.
I was sat next to the fucking bear. I've got the toy bear in the boot of my car, by the way. I was sat next to Winnie. Look, we're even matching. Look, pink dress, pink shirt. Look at that.
Is that a mug in front of you?
I don't know at this point. I really don't know. a lot of this night is very much sort of like destroyed from my my brain. Worn out faces. Well, we know who this lady is, right?
Who made this video?
You cunt.
What's this lady's name?
Isn't this the one that fucking placates and enables Annette when...
Feather and fur.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Also, I love the fact that John went, the big party, hashtag the name's Luna, hashtag evil queen, and then tagged at evil queen. Like, what, are you best buddies with evil queen when you did this? What's that all about?
Evil queen was talking about the party on a live at the time. And I said to her that I have clips of what it looked like. So I shared it with her, and then she then played this on her live.
Oh, did she?
Yes, I've got Evil Queen's number. I'm just,
wow. I mean,
once you reach, 30,000 followers plus, then you start to get to that sort of level on TikTok.
Get the friends, yeah. And then there's me, the leech of society, the barnacle of TikTok. And obviously, I latch myself onto people like John.
And you're almost at 6,000.
Hey!
Pitter mute.
Now, this gentleman, for those that do not remember, is, of course... Is
it meant to be on the screen, or?
Well, yes, it is, John. You know that. You know that.
Just wanted to clarify.
You know that. This is Nick. This is Ukraine Nick. He's not from the Ukraine, but this
the one who looked like he was kidnapped.
It was being kidnapped, yes.
So you were a mod at the time this was all going on, right?
Yes. Would you like me to go get the bear?
No. What I mean is, you were a mod at the time when Nick went to Ukraine.
No, not at all. I had no fucking clue who this cunt was.
So was this the Dyson Airwrap day?
No.
Because she got gifted a Dyson Airwrap for her birthday, didn't she?
Yeah, but he didn't have it on him, I don't think.
Right, okay.
Well, when she opened presents, I can't remember what she fucking had. I didn't buy her anything. No, nothing.
Right. Okay.
I gave her the I gave her the gift of my presents.
Yeah, you're just the kind of friend that I want,
No, you're no, I'm not. You're lying, you bastard.
No, you honestly are, because you're going to come round to my house on Saturday. Someone coming round for dinner or whatever, they'd bring a little bottle of wine or something. They'd be like, "Oh, here you go," make the effort. Pockerz turns up and he leaves with items.
You made me sound like I fucking steal from your house. I look at his silverware and I stash it in my pockets. Call me Fagin.
It's like, right, what's John got surplus around here? Right, okay.
Toilet do you need that? Did you use that in the last 24 hours? No, it's mine. Look, listen. No, seriously though. John, did those loo rolls show up?
They have, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I've just I'm on to my last roll that John gave me last time. So I need a top up. So John's going to give me some toilet rolls. So
I have a bag of 40 toilet rolls to give you.
Ting dong. Thank you, Ems.
That'll keep you going for at least a week after a taco.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
At least he's invited. Well, that is true. Are you going to do the pop music dance together?
Lorraine, you are invited whenever you want, but from what I understand it's an operation to get you down here because you're so far away. If you live down the road, you could come over and have dinner, no problem at all.
But if you live in Scotland or something, don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
So yeah, anyway, that's Nick.
Yes.
So yeah, Nick is one of the chief placators.
Yes, one of, yeah. Oh, fuck me. Do you know what I remember? Oh my God!
Oh.
What the... Ems, what?
What happened?
Giving away some subscriptions.
Oh, very nice,
Thank you.
Get your merch now, Ems. Get your merch.
Soggy mincemeat.
That's it. Get your soggy mincemeat.
Mute.
Actually, we are doing. Don't buy any merch right now, guys. We are doing a season 2 t-shirt.
Yeah, we are.
And it may or may not have a chihuahua on it. Okay, that's all I'm telling you. Save your money because there is a season 2 t-shirt coming out. Okay, just let you know.
Just bear with us. Once we're ready to release it, you're going to know about it.
Yes.
And then everyone can say, what the fuck's a lunar tuna? And then you can tell them and it's going to whole thing.
Yes.
So, yes, this was John's... Oh, the last 2 seconds he decided to leave nothing, but yes.
Well, no, the whole point is it's a fade to black, right? So it's like it's a really sad birthday party.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was the whole point of the video. It was
so,
actually
yeah, but you know my level of how I would do things and stuff, so I'm instantly trying to make it harder and more complicated than it needs to be.
You are, and yet, you know, every video that you release does so well, and you know, it's especially the ones you put all the effort into. That's what I love about TikTok. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Can you do a photo of the Chihuahua and write Julia Donaldson? What? Who the fuck's that?
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. But I think we should play the VG clip and then probably end. Like, you don't have to end, but I'm gonna probably shoot off at that point. I've got
not. Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
There we go. Here it is.
Annette. My name's Annette.
Best a man can get.
Not funny, VG. Pitter, mute.
What do you mean?
Pitter, mute.
No, because Gillette, Annette.
I mean, look, listen, whether he said it on purpose or not, he is correct in saying that it fucking rhymes. And she goes, no, it's not. No, it don't.
It does.
No, it was probably the timing was wrong.
Not funny. I'm off.
Of course it's fucking funny.
Not taking that from anybody. Annette.
Says the woman holding a puppy and a bird on her head.
Can you replay that bit where she says, "I'm not taking that," please?
Okay.
Not taking that from anybody.
Let me know when you're ready to replay it. No, go back.
No.
And let me know when you're there to replay it. Let me know.
No.
Are you ready?
Hold on. For fuck. Okay, right, I'm ready.
Okay, this is Annette at a swingers party.
Not taking that from anybody.
The whole point of being there, darling, is to be embrace the situation. You put your keys in the bowl. You knew what you were getting yourself in for. You're the one that pays the monthly membership. Jesus. Now get on all fours and take it like a lady. Come on. Ding dong.
Pitter, mute.
Oh, God. We're here for the comedy relief, guys. We're here for the comedy relief.
Listen, honestly, I felt like I've had to bite my tongue all evening.
We've been so serious all evening.
Like, because you said, right, we need to be serious. And I'm like, and I get that because it's like, we're trying to, you know, and like some of the things people were saying, and I'm like,
I saw you like,
look, listen, you should be proud of me, and I feel like you are deep to your core. You just won't admit it in public.
Yes.
See? There you go.
I had my serious hat on tonight.
So did I.
Oh.
Hey, John, guess what?
What?
I've got new glasses.
You got new glasses?
Yeah, I bought new glasses.
You are bringing me one of those, right?
What?
The thingy that goes on the glasses.
Yeah, look what you said.
Yeah, okay, just don't forget that, because I feel like you're going to turn up.
No!
And I've got all this cool stuff for you, and I want you to bring my little baggie. Bring the little baggie for me, Walter White. Bring me the little baggie when you come over.
I'm the one that knocks. I'm the one that placates. Pox, if you keep trying to rewind, she stutters. Stop it, Spooner! No! No! Love it. Yeah, well, Annette, it's fucking copying my look. It's very upsetting. Very upsetting. No, seriously, I went and bought some glasses today because I got my eyes tested. I saved £105.
Okay, darling, hold my hand!
Welcome on this jet to holiday.
There's only one way that are you ending the stream in a minute?
I will.
There's only one way we can end the stream, and it involves you've made your bed.
It's such a weird choice, I have to say. But it also makes so much sense with what we spoke about today.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, she's being investigated. What more can we say other than she's made her bed? Now she's got to lie in it.
It's a lie in it. I'm frozen on the screen.
Oh. Oh, you are dancing. I did wonder why. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the live tonight. Mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you for everyone that's following. If you're not following us already, please drop me a follow. Please drop Cook and Cruise with John a follow. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back on tomorrow evening. Thank you so much. We love you very, very much. And of course, in the quiet words of the Virgin Mary,
Pitter.
Fuck off.
All right, go on. Piss off, you lovely bastard.